All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. We've got a table full today. So Jeff is out of town this week. He was planning on going out of town next week, but from what I've heard, Julie's dad has been wanting to get back to the beach since his wife passed, and so they got to just had the opportunity this week to go down with him a little early. So they are at the beach this week. So I have invited some of our other friends to join us. Hello, friends.
Hi.
Hello, Cameron.
If you are listening, we've got Rachel, Cody, and Bethany. It's Bethany's first time on the podcast.
Woo!
And she's so excited about
So
it.
excited.
Welcome to our club. Welcome to our club.
So excited.
John was nervous he was going to be on. He said Sunday he was thinking about Jeff going out, and he was trying to think about what he was going to talk about from the message because he's just assumed.
Sound theological.
Psych! Different direction. But yeah, I wanted to get you guys on. I know this week is going to be the first week. It's actually the day this post will be the first day of our VBS, and the S being summer.
Summer.
So Vacation Bible Summer. So yeah, I want to dig into that a little bit in just a minute. But before we do, I want to go to Ray. Because we were...
the one and only.
we were talking before, and there's a lot of people who obviously love Ray, and with everything that happened last year and then having to take a step back, I've had a lot of people ask about you and don't want to come up and bombard you on service. So just want to check on you. How are you doing?
I am doing much better.
Good.
Things are starting to get a little bit back to normal. I'm about 6 months out, which is crazy to think it's been 6 months in some ways.
Wow.
Because in some ways it just seems like it was yesterday. But things are getting easier. I'm building up my stamina, tolerance, that kind of thing. Still dealing with some headaches from time to time, but other than that, excited to be back here. And if anybody sees me on campus, please don't hesitate to stop and ask. I have coveted all of your prayers, appreciated and felt every single one of them, and I can't say thank you enough. So please don't hesitate to stop me, grab me, give me a hug. I'll hug you back. But it's good to be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And you look the same.
And everybody asks, I look the same. Everybody usually says, oh, you look so good. It's what happens when you sleep for about 3 months. Apparently, you look better.
It's great for the skin.
It's great for the skin.
Yeah.
I think everybody was nervous that, you work out, like 2 hours a day minimum? It's just like she hasn't worked out in a while. Maybe
so
she's going to...
angry.
We didn't know what was going to walk through those
Got
doors.
roid rage going. Just, I got to get...
And I am back to working out, so that's helped some.
Let's go.
Not like what I was, but I'm at least doing it a little bit.
Slowly but
Nice.
surely.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
my new motto.
Ooh, that's not an easy one.
It's not. Slowing down is not anything I've ever thought about doing or wanted to do. So I guess it was just God's way of saying it's time for you to slow down.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm listening, I promise.
Yeah. Nothing else.
Nothing else, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Incorporated some earplugs in every now
Yes,
and then.
I do put my earplugs in for the service. I get a little overstimulated still sometimes.
Yeah.
So I've always got those in. So if you are talking to me and I'm not responding, I'm not trying to be rude. I honestly can't hear you.
Yeah, that's funny. I know when you first came back, I guess, I don't know if it was the brain surgeon, the doctor who it was, but said in some ways like your brain basically reset. So it's having to relearn how to do things.
For sure. And the overstimulation is really my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Because all of it happened, and then I was in a quiet room for quite some time.
Yeah.
And so then just having to learn, I can't process necessarily lots of things going on at one time. So if I'm in a restaurant, I have to sit with my back to the wall so I don't see and hear everything else that's going on behind me.
Yeah.
But again, it's getting better.
Yeah.
We all know I was
Good.
crazy before. It's just now official,
Yeah.
I guess.
Got the diagnosis now.
Now I have
Yeah,
a
right.
diagnosis.
But I loved hearing yesterday. I know Sundays are tough, so then usually Mondays are just
Yes.
the headaches
Exhaustion,
and everything.
yes.
But yesterday seemed to go well.
Yesterday
I
was,
don't know if it
I felt better yesterday than I have since before it happened.
Yeah,
So maybe I've turned a corner.
it's awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Prayerfully
That's
so.
very
Pray
Prayerfully
that that's the
so.
case.
Very
Yes.
Yeah, because we're getting ready. I texted you this morning because I was like, man, she did a lot yesterday. I hope she didn't overdo it and just crash
No,
today. So,
ready to go again today.
yeah, good
So,
stuff.
feeling
Well,
good.
Glad to hear it. Glad you're back. Now, you guys, we're getting into summer. Tomorrow is the first day of VB summer.
Which doesn't roll right off the tongue.
It doesn't. Well, still, we can still say
Technically,
VBS.
VBS. It's just not
It is.
school, it's just summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you guys, like, early on, because I guess that decision was really made when Rachel was still out.
Yes.
So without having a kids director,
Yeah.
and I know Will was part of that process too, but how did you come to the conclusion of VB Summer, VBS doing it that way this year?
Well, we were exploring different ideas, different locations, backyards, things like that. But one meeting with Will and Cody and me, we just started talking about how we already had the materials needed to do 5 days worth of a VBS week, and realized, well, that almost coincides with how many weeks we have in the summer to have
Yeah.
Wednesday night activities. So it's Cody's genius idea, really, that started us off down this path. And it
Genius
just
is
kinda,
That's right.
really
That's
that's a strong term. That's a strong
it was
term.
great because some other things fell through, and it just seemed like the natural progression was heading toward let's just work it in on summer nights. And I think it's going to be really fun.
Yep.
I was excited for the idea.
I think with everything going on our campus, it's probably our best bet we
Yeah.
got. And so,
For sure.
'cause if you haven't been around our campus in a little bit, we got very limited space. And
In case you haven't noticed,
yeah, in case you've been out for a little bit,
we're under construction.
yeah, I mean the old choir room building is completely without a roof right now.
Yes.
So like from the
you
floor
can-
to
And maybe a wall.
Outside,
Yeah, you
yes,
can literally
you can
see
see
all
outside.
above it. Yeah.
and so, which we got to see an awesome update on that this Sunday too. So it was good to see how the ball's rolling on that for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so with all the things working against us, it was cool to see a plan come together to make it happen. Because that was one option that was always on the table, saying, do we not do it at all? And that's one we wanted to steer clear from as much as we could. And so the fact that we were able
Yeah,
to
for sure.
get something to work was super encouraging for that. So
Yeah, that's great. So there will be, is it five weeks total?
We technically have 6 weeks.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
we had to kind of craft a lesson for that last day.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was just right there for us to use and map out for the summer. We kind of are following the midweek schedule. It's like a midweek mashup with VBS because midweek's been going really well. We've had K through second join up together as a group and third through fifth combine as a group. And so we're still going to keep that pattern for VBS. We'll, of course, offer it to preschool this
Yes.
summer, which is kind of new-ish.
New-ish for sure.
In the past, it's just been,
For workers'
The
kids.
worker kids, so
Yeah,
that-
so it's
yeah,
open
now
to
it's up-
preschoolers
yeah.
from, yes,
Yeah, I've had people ask me that, so I think that's going to be an exciting thing, too.
absolutely.
Preschoolers to come in. But yeah, we had enough space in the Owens building to just kind of follow the midweek model, keep our groups consolidated rather, because on a normal VBS week, we would have
Every
5
senior-
rooms
yes.
dedicated to kindergarten, 5 rooms
Yes.
dedicated to first grade, and we don't have that luxury this
Yeah.
summer. So we're combining. We're still having worship rally. We're adding in a little pizza dinner for the kids to come in and start off the night, so that should be fun and exciting. They'll still go to missions. They'll still go to rec. They'll still go to Bible time. It's a lot of the same, just a little different,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the middle, there's a couple camp weeks and some other things going on. So
Yes.
bouncing around that.
Yes, summer is here.
Yeah.
full swing.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Lots
that'll
going
be-
on.
Yeah, that'll be great. It's interesting, looking at our campus. Really, normally VBS literally takes up the whole campus.
The
For sure.
entire campus. There's
For
not
sure.
a
Like-
building or a room we don't touch in
square
some way,
inch.
shape, or form.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Like some of these rooms in the basement. I remember last year we had the studio here.
Yes.
And
Oh.
like this room in particular
Oh,
is
yeah.
not used all year long, but it's one that's used for VBS normally. So it's like, oh no, we lost a room.
We need every
Yep.
space for storage or a child space,
Yeah.
a
Yes.
kid
Yep.
space,
Yeah. So,
always.
well, everything I think sounds like there's a good plan. It's exciting to see the decorations and everything over in the Owens
Yeah,
building.
They
it
look
looks
amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't skipped a beat on that side of things.
Yeah.
It's looking awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully, no one cares that we had already taken over the Owens building, and now we really have taken over the Owens
Just
building.
spread out a little
For
bit
the
more.
whole summer.
Just making it really fun and festive.
It's great. It's probably in a way a good thing because you get to focus your when it's the whole campus, you got to decorate so many different things.
Yeah,
So
it
getting to
was.
focus on the Owens building, you get to pour a little more into it. So
Yeah, really
it's cool.
fun.
So what's VBS going to look like? VB summer.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be on Wednesday nights, but
Yes.
normally, you got your welcome rally in the sanctuary, and then you go to classes, and then you got rec and missions, but it's going to look a little different because we don't have as many buildings. So what's it going to look like here on campus?
Yeah, less traveling across campus and more just kind of keeping it all in the Owens building.
Yeah.
You'll check in like a normal Wednesday night. Kids will roll in, even if they have friends, at 5:30.
Time change.
Yes, that's true. That is a big difference
Yes,
from
it
normal
is.
Wednesday nights. Yeah. Pizza starts at 5:30, so everyone can start checking in and getting in their spot in the lower level fireplace room of the Owens building. So everyone will go there at first.
Except for preschool.
Well, yeah, totally. They'll still get pizza.
They will get pizza, yes. But
Yeah.
we will contain them a little bit more.
Yes, parents, in case you're wondering, preschool gets pizza too. Yeah, so we start off with pizza, leads right into our worship rally, which instead of us going to the sanctuary, we will keep it housed in the Owens building
Right.
just to lessen foot traffic across campus with all the construction. But yeah, so we'll go right into worship rally. Then we will break into our groups and go to missions or rec or Bible and just kind of blow out the night with all the fun.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's 5:30 to 7:30, all in the Owens building. Yeah, if you have questions, holler at us.
Perfect. And no registration required this year.
No registration required.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we did
know.
have some questions about that.
Yeah. So,
We'll see if that works.
obviously, again, this will be posted on the day it's happening, so you wouldn't have registered anyways. But
Right.
but yeah, since it's kind of worked into a Wednesday, no registration with that. As
Just
far
come,
as
just come with some patience on the first Wednesday
Yes,
night
please.
For
as we
sure.
try to work through check-in and getting everybody where they need to go.
it's new,
For sure.
it's
It's
different.
anytime you do something new and different, there's going to be
Yep.
a couple bumps,
Yeah, for sure.
but we got it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
For preschool, what does preschool look like? First time doing a VBS kind of thing,
Like
in
an
preschool,
open
so,
VBS in
yeah.
preschool, absolutely. So we're going to meet in classrooms. They'll be in the regular Sunday school classrooms.
Okay.
So they'll come in, they'll do pizza, we'll watch a video, they go straight into their Bible study time. And then we're going to do 3 rotations in preschool. They're going to do rec, crafts, and missions.
Yeah.
And so just because worship rally is going to be so tight, we're
Yeah.
afraid with it just being in 100.
Yeah.
We decided just to let the little ones stay in their classrooms and celebrate in other ways. Added that craft time, gave them another option,
They'll
another
love
way to
that.
explore things. Absolutely. And then rec inside, maybe outside if we're feeling froggy. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
And we won't turn away anybody that wants to stay and hang out and help. Because
But we've
there's-
had a great,
we have had a great response.
outpouring of volunteers.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
good. Because with it being spread out over the summer, you never really know who's home, who's not home. But people have really responded great and just have dove right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
So many good workers.
Good stuff.
It's gonna be great.
I want to take a step back. I forgot to mention or ask when Rachel stepped out. Obviously, a lot of people stepped in. Cody helped. Will did a lot. Bethany stepped in. At the time, you were, and I guess you are still part time.
Yeah.
But you were. What was your position with Rachel last year?
That's a funny question. Depends on who you ask. No, yeah, I really was just, regardless of what the title was, I was just there to assist and help make things lighten the load
Yeah.
a little bit for our already highly in demand kids director. So, yeah, I just came on as part-time to be involved in the kids ministry in any way that I could, just helping out with really anything and everything.
And a lot of that was, there was some on Sunday mornings, I think, but a lot of that was kind of helping with the Wednesday night, midweek side of things.
Yeah, it kind of just fell that way. It was
Yeah.
just a natural fit for me. I loved getting to know all the parents and the kids, and it was a good way for me to dive right in. So midweek was a big help for me.
Yeah,
Big-
that's great.
Big spot for me.
What was it like, obviously with Rachel being out and unknowns, and when will she be back, and will she be back even at a time?
I knew. I had faith.
Glad you did.
She'll be back. She has to.
What was it like, and just what was that like navigating all of that? I know Will helped a lot, and you probably relied
Yeah.
a lot on him.
Well, it was
but-
crazy because it almost coincided exactly with having to move
Yes.
Yeah.
the kids building over to the Owens building. And so I didn't really have a lot of time to sit and think about it. Just me and Kayla and whoever else dove right in, and we just started moving decades worth of stuff. So yeah, we just tackled the move, and that took up so much time that I really was everybody was worried and praying for Rachel, but I didn't really think, like, what does that mean for us now? We just dove right in and tackled the move, and then just kind of kept doing the best I could. I don't know. It was, it was definitely unknown, but like you said, Cody and Will, y'all were right there with me, and we would just lay everything out and plan it out. And
Sure. And there's a great group of support
such a
sure.
great,
Yep.
such a great
that
group.
have stepped up and come and move things and helped plan things and step in that,
Yeah,
our
and-
congregation is amazing at stuff like that. We have some volunteers and some lay people who we couldn't do ministry without.
100%.
So that's been a huge help, I'm sure.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, still is.
For sure.
Still is.
Yep. That's a great reminder. We couldn't do ministry without them, but also
No.
they are doing ministry alongside of us too.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Sunday was a great reminder in the 10 o'clock service. At the end, Jeff, in our last song, just looking around, saw some families that he knew they were dealing with stuff. And so just took a second to have anybody who needs prayer, just stand up and people around them pray for them. I think in our culture, people assume that the people on staff, the ministers, are the ones doing ministry.
Right.
And you're ministering to the congregation, but really the congregation is the body of Christ. Like, we are all doing ministry together. And so the people in the pews are doing just as much ministry, if not more sometimes,
Absolutely.
than we are. They're just not up on the platform. It's just a different perspective. But putting the ministry in the hands of I thought that was just a great visual of that. That it's not stand if you need prayer. All right, our deacons and pastors, if y'all go find these people and pray for
Right.
them. No, it's people around them. Stand up and pray for your people.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's even the model of ministry you see in Ephesians chapter 4, where Paul talks about you have these individuals who are gifted with these sets, such as those in the vocational ministry, equipping the saints to do the work of the ministry.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, hey, we're in these positions to help train and equip you guys to then go and do that work. And I agree, Sunday was a great opportunity to get to see that in practice.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it was really, really awesome moment.
Yeah, and VBS, I mean, kids ministry in general is a great example
yeah.
of that, because the kids ministers, directors, part-time, whatever, staff can't minister to all the
All
kids.
the children.
No.
There's no way.
It's just
There's
not
no
a,
way.
Not a
I
possibility.
mean, even just
so.
on the requirements out of camp of how many adults you need per kids, like
Absolutely.
we couldn't
If you
do
look
it.
at ratios, and
and
then
all
even
that.
on a Sunday morning, like we have somewhere between 60 and 70 volunteers.
Yeah.
Like on a Sunday morning, by the time you count Sunday school teachers and nursery workers and those that are standing at tables welcoming people for check-in, and that's in Kids Men alone. So like when you look at the grand scope of things of what it takes to run, a church like ours, we have to have everybody. Like everybody becomes the hands and feet of Jesus.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're not yet, please stop by and see one
We
of
have
us.
plenty of opportunities for you to do so.
We will plug you in somewhere.
I was going to say the same thing. Like if there is anybody listening that knows somebody that is not plugged in, or if you're
Yes.
coming, and it's important for us to be filled, but it's also so important for us to be able to pour back in. So
Yes.
obviously there's some extra background checks and extra measures for kids.
There's a little bit involved,
But-
yes.
Which thankfully we do have.
We do. We can hook you up. Just takes an email address and a little bit of time.
That's right. We pay for it and everything. Good stuff. Well, as far as the rest of the summer goes, I know it's funny when I talk to some people, like when we get to the end of the year, there's all of the musical things and creative things with Christmas. And so I'm just running ragged. And
Yeah.
so Jeff, the last few years, he's probably listening to hear this, but last few years he's like, yeah, I know this is a season we all like to take some time off and
Yeah,
relax.
uh-huh.
I'm like, what? When does that happen?
Yeah.
But really, that's kind of how I feel in the summer, and you guys are
Very
running
true.
crazy.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I get a little bit of a break and get to help. But
Yep.
but with the busyness of kid and student summer, Cody, we'll go to you. What is your summer plan? What does your summer look like?
Yeah, so I think this comes out Wednesday of this week, right? And so we'll be kicking off tonight, just the same with where we got BBS Summer going on. We're going to be doing our Summer on the Mount series, where we're walking through Matthew 5, 6, and 7, and just taking some time this summer to look at the greatest sermon ever given. And I love the Sermon on the Mount because, and a lot of people like to frame it, oh, Jesus is teaching the upside down kingdom. But if you see it in reality, no, he's trying to flip everything back on the right axis.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that even in the Beatitudes, where he kicks everything off, like, hey, you look at these individuals that are listed as blessed, the world wouldn't see the brokenhearted, the downtrodden, all these individuals as blessed individuals. But you see why they are and what they're inheriting as they follow through and follow after the Lord. And he says that right from the stage, like whoever the world looks at as blessed may not necessarily be in the eyes of the kingdom. And so if you are going through these hardships and difficulties, understand if you're doing it for the Lord's sake, there's a great reward in that. And so here's how you then live out that life from there. Yeah. And so it's just a great time as we have students kind of all over the place in the summer just to remind them, hey, as we orient our life around the Lord, here's the way of what that looks like and how to practice that and follow after that. And so we'll be doing our small groups on Wednesday nights throughout the summer as well, getting our guys and girls together to dive into that deeper. Sunday nights, we're going to be kicking off a study on spiritual gifts through Lifeway's gifted study that they have. And so 5 Sunday nights throughout the summer, we'll be diving into that together as a group as well. Sunday mornings, we'll be rocking and rolling with Sunday School and the Gospel Project and looking forward to that. And then, of course, the big cherry on top is camp coming up on June 24th. And parents, please, if you have not gotten your camp waivers in yet, please do so before
I'm
Sunday.
One of those parents.
No, you're all good. You're all good. And so that's one of the biggest ways. I'll give Will credit. He's already got his turned in.
Wow,
which
man,
is,
you're bad.
No,
so bad.
I still think I technically still need to do mine. So we're in the same boat.
Okay.
But help us out with that. But we got a great group. I think we're at 54 students signed up to go with us.
That's great.
And so it's going to be an awesome summer. Camp seems to be a very different animal out here than it is in Oklahoma. Not in size-wise, because in Oklahoma we have Falls Creek, which is the largest Christian camp in the world. And so it's funny if you look at, like, everyone's like, have you never been to a Fuge camp before? Well, if you look at Fuge and like Student Life Camp's map, they're all around Oklahoma, but no one's in Oklahoma because they don't want to step on Falls Creek's toes. But we have a lot of different smaller associational camps, and so we've done Falls Creek with our students in the past for some of those, but it's just different on the scheduling side of things. But what I'm really looking forward to with MFuge is just the missions emphasis of it.
Yes.
Because so often you go into camp, the rec time's great, Sugar Shack's awesome, all those things, but I'm really excited to see how this differs in that regard, because it gives them a ministry element to be a part of in the camp too.
Yes.
And so we're going to be going out and serving on the mission field there in North Carolina, and I'm just excited to see how that's all going to pan out and really see how that kind of works in line with everything. And I've heard fantastic things about Fuge camps as well. And so we're going to be out at Ridgecrest, and so if you want to join us in praying for our students as we're gearing up for that in a couple weeks, going to be fantastic. And then just kind of keep the momentum rolling from that, because camp's a great time to build relationships and get our students all together. Throughout the month of July, we're going to continue our Wednesday nights and regular programming there, but we're also adding what we're calling our Together Thursdays and just trying to keep that relational aspect going. And so we'll kick off on the 3rd. We're going to have a pool party at the Thrasher's house, call it our American night, as we're gearing up for the 4th and everything there. And so we'd love for your students to come hang out with us there. The 10th, we're going to be taking our middle schoolers out to, I think it's the Go USA Fun Park. We're going to do go-karts, mini golf, arcade, get some lunch afterwards, come back up here to the church. We're looking at doing a bowling night that next week, and then to wrap it up, we'll take our high schoolers out back to Kayak the Caney. And so just a lot of different opportunities for them to get together, especially while they got that open time. And so some will be out and about doing things, but it gives them another time. Hey, if they miss Wednesday night, come join us Thursday. We got our Sunday stuff too.
Absolutely.
And so just trying to build as much relationships, especially this being my first summer here, and still trying to get to know the ropes and everything, get to know everyone still. I think it's a great time for us to get to do some of that. So
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That was like a
Wow.
promo.
I mean,
I'm
how do I
impressed.
follow
communications major, man. So we got
He just hit it like,
Could
I
you talk
can't-
about our summer too? please?
Yeah, so for kids, of course, we got VBS Summer, as we just mentioned. And so,
Exactly.
and
I'll throw
got
it
to
over to
shout out
Cody.
these two ladies, truly the MVPs of the Next Gen team, making this happen.
Oh my goodness.
But you guys also have camp, and look like you got some
Yes,
awesome
we
stuff
do
planned for
have
that.
camp.
So,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're taking our 4th and 5th graders to CentraKid.
yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, they've done it a few times. Rachel, weigh in, please. You've done camp a lot of
Camp
summers.
is one of those things that. How do you explain camp?
Maybe we
used
need
to
Cody to
always
explain
say
camp.
there's no tired like VBS tired, but then like there's no tired like camp tired.
Yeah.
100%.
Like it's a whole nother
Camp tired's
level of. They're going back to Campbellsville University
Yeah.
in Campbellsville, Kentucky. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, and it's an amazing time. These kiddos get away, and as they become middle schoolers, those 4th and 5th graders, they're trying to figure out. They're pulling away from mom and dad just a little bit, trying to figure out who they are and who their friends are. Camp is a great way in a safe environment, to kind of explore and see. They do tracks. There's worship rallies, always fun. Peach is always crazy,
It's goofy.
useless
Yeah,
videos.
there's so much
but there's
fun.
so much fun.
Everybody loves Peach.
Everybody loves Peach. And then you've got like
And the goofier the better with them.
Yes, yes. You've got OMC where everybody leaves with eyes burning full of shaving cream. Like there's nothing like camp. It's really, I think that maybe one of my biggest disappointments this summer is that I'm not going to camp this summer.
Oh, yeah.
It could be arranged.
We still have a female sponsor spot open for student camp if you want to
Now, I don't
come.
know about student camp.
Student camp's a different animal.
Big,
So
big kids scare me.
me too.
Hey,
but
next
you know,
summer, if they don't match up on the same week, I'll come with you.
Oh, there you
We
go.
got
She's
this
gonna try-
recorded,
I know
so-
it's now.
Sign me up. I'll go.
Yeah.
It's now there.
That'd be really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, no, Central Kids. It's an awesome experience. It really is.
Yeah. I think Central Kid's been around since I was that age, but we only did Fuge, and then we had a high school camp, but I only did student camp. And so it just seems like a whole nother. They definitely build it for kids, from what I see. Not for
Absolutely, they
It
have
is. It's
tracks
nonstop
they go
energy.
to. It is
Yeah.
nonstop from the time they wake up until the time they crash at night.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. Like last summer was my first time going, and I still considered myself the new girl.
Yeah.
So it was really a great way for me to get to know the kids.
Oh, yeah,
For
I mean,
sure.
you just dive right in.
Yes, and those camp
And they're
counselors
all
are
in.
invaluable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, they make great sticky adults for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You know, we encourage our counselors to check on those kiddos that they have
Yeah.
during that week. You build a very unique relationship.
Very much
because
so.
they're not at home.
Yeah.
And so you see a different side of them, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
But it's
they have a
nothing
great
like
week.
camp.
Yeah.
I know.
So talk about Camp Tired. So Addie turns 2 next week, and so we're super excited about that. We'll be on vacation, get to celebrate with some family. When the year she was born, I was home for 2 weeks after that, or 2 or 3 weeks, and then left for student camp.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so talk
So you were
about
baby
Talk
tired
about
and
it.
then
You were
baby
baby-
tired.
I slept better at camp that
Then you
week
get it
than I
on.
had the previous 2, which is crazy.
That was nuts.
But and the funny thing is, they came to visit me that Wednesday night, and I was like a mess already because the way they did rec there, it was called a wet and wild rec. Like, and so
Yes.
you got spray gun spraying at you, slip and slides, all the 9 yards.
Yes.
So I'm already soaked from that. Get a hold of Addie, and she showed that she really missed me by having a massive blowout all over.
Nice.
And so I'm like, well, I'm glad this is the time I got to spend with you. And it was still great getting to see her and Kayla. They had lunch with us and everything, and then I had to
Yeah.
head back. But yeah, that was talking about Camp Tired. That was
That's
a
another
double
kind of,
whammy.
that's a whole
Year.
nother, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next
Well, and it's a
level
little bit
tired.
different at Campbellsville, the way the rooms are set up. There's not a commons area. So in the past, as an adult, like even the first year we went to Campbellsville, we stayed in one of the dorm rooms, and so there was a commons area. We would stay up, and it was totally voluntary, but we would stay up till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just chatting or playing spoons or just having a big time. And so then you go to bed at 3, and then the kids are up at 6.
Oof, yeah, breakfast is early.
So like, yes.
Lesson
So
learned.
not
No,
really,
you
because
kept
I didn't.
going?
You did it.
Yes.
One of the strategies I learned early on in student ministry, and I learned this from his name is John Sturrock. He was my now group leader for my freshman, sophomore, and then senior year. And then I got to work with him as our student associate when I was an intern at our church as well. It's just cool how God has weaved our paths together at different times. But his thing with us at D now is like, hey, we're going to sleep good the first night, and then our second night's the one we're going to go all out on.
Yep.
And so the same thing for camp. Hey, guys, if we get some good rest these nights, we're going to go
Then we're
all
good.
out for the last one, and then
Yep.
we're on the bus going home anyways. And so
Yes, and then it's
Okay.
all silent. You know, the bus ride down there is like,
everyone's
Right.
excited.
Hyped up.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Bus drivers fussing, get the kids to be quiet, turn on a movie. And then on the way back, you hear nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very
Crickets.
true. Very
Because
true.
they're all just,
wiped out.
yes.
Sad to leave and tired.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just tired.
They're
that
just
point,
completely
they're too tired to be
worn
sad.
out.
They're too tired.
That hits Monday, and they're like, oh, I'm not at camp
Yes,
anymore.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice. So that sounds like a good time. Anything else going on? I know VBS and camp are the
VBS
two
every
big things for
week.
kids.
It's a whole different
Yeah.
ball game this summer for VBS. VBS and camp. I mean, we will have our annual crossover event, which is for fifth graders moving on to sixth grade.
Very
They're
excited for that.
Yeah.
saying bye to Kidsmen and hello to
Oh, yeah.
students. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
It's going to be a day trip to Nashville Shores,
Okay.
and we're
Still
going to.
haven't been to Nashville Shores.
I've
Part of
never
school.
been
I-
either.
Really?
I
No.
worked
Staff
there.
trip.
I
Yeah.
worked
do it.
there
Next step
Force
Monday.
Let's do it.
when they first opened in 1998.
Yeah.
Summer after my senior year. I think it was the first
Summer after I
summer.
was
Stop it.
That was rude.
I'm sorry.
You are rude.
So, yeah,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
5.
There goes the genius comment.
Anywho,
Right?
I take
you
it
just
back.
dropped
take it
way
back.
on down, Cody.
Sorry, I get hyped up on the mic.
Anyway, it's just I haven't been in a long time, but I did work there back in the day when it opened, and it was a much different Nashville Shores than the Nashville Shores of today.
Okay.
Very, very not cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to take the 5th graders, rising 6th graders, and we're also going to bring some of the students from Cody's ministry already that are just eager to make friends and easier to transition from kidsmen to students, just so that it's not, they don't feel like the outsider coming in. Maybe we'll just have a bonding day at Nashville Shores and even come back here. Cody, another great idea was to hang out in the student space to kind of get acquainted with it, have a meal.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to cap off the evening. So that's July 22nd. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just
Nice.
at random. So yeah, we do have that going on, but
Sweet. That'd be
later
awesome.
on. Yeah, it'll be fun. I
Well,
think
good
so.
stuff. It'd be a good summer.
Which some of them seem like they're already ready to get down here because once they're done with Sunday school on Sunday, they're
Yeah, true.
getting our donuts.
They've had a
trying to
taste
figure,
being
all
around
right,
the corner.
can I play the Switch? Or is there any students on
What
there?
do you let them?
We'll let them hang out. Like by the time most of the students clear
Those
out, they're
5th
kind
graders
of
come out.
yeah.
They do,
Yep.
yeah. They're just around the corner and they're like, no, there's a ping pong table and a Nintendo that I can't play. What?
Fifth grade.
We give them a little time on there, so
That's good.
give them a little taste.
Little taste.
Nice. Good stuff.
Good guy.
I'm still impressed that Cody just rambled off a whole calendar.
An
without
entire summer.
I know you could probably do that too. That is not how my brain works.
Not
Me
anymore.
neither.
I'm like, I don't even remember
I'm
what I
going to
had for
hire
dinner
Cody
last
every
night.
time.
I've looked
to
at that
talk.
calendar so many times, trying to fit pieces and things together.
Yeah.
But
So
wait,
sure.
you have a photographic memory.
In some things.
Oh,
I'm really
started
trying
saying,
to
wait,
figure out what
what?
I ate for dinner last night.
yeah.
We had leftovers.
Wendy's. That's what it was.
Okay.
In what way? I think I do, but
You
I'm
told-
trying to remember how.
Okay, we were playing Jackbox at the fall
Oh, yeah,
retreat,
yeah.
and you and I were head to head on some like
That's
puzzle
true.
memory thing, and you're like, I have a photographic
yeah,
memory.
we're-
And I was like, I didn't stand a chance.
I remember what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
remember
certain
that? No?
things. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like shapes and colors and stuff, and you were like, I got this.
Cool.
No
Well, that's
worries.
good. All good stuff. It'll be a great summer. Yeah, VBS, I think it's going to be good. It'll be different because it's not the. I think there'll still be some tiredness with it, but it's not the
Not the same.
cram packed
Totally
into a
spread
week.
out.
It's spread out, which will be nicer, but also it's spread out, so it just keeps
Yes.
going. So
I think getting this
That'd be
first
good.
week under our belt will kind of
Help
be able to
settle,
gauge
for
what
sure.
it's going to look like all
Yeah.
summer. So leading up to this point has been a little bit like normal VBS planning.
For sure. And it's also 2 hours,
yeah,
not
True.
3.5.
Very true.
You know.
yeah.
It's condensed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once we get week 1 under our belt, it'll help us know what to
Yeah,
expect.
for sure.
But
It'll be
yeah.
good. Good stuff.
Yeah, very fun.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else came to mind? Nope. All good.
Thunder up, baby. We're in the finals.
What does that mean?
OKC Thunder, our NBA team. No one
Oh.
cares.
Oh,
No
Last time I was on here, we just
cares.
smashed
Not even
Memphis
a
out of the playoffs. But you know, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
he tried to say something. He was like, "Yeah, we just smashed," and I did.
took out
I,
Memphis.
I missed the cue. I don't know how he said it. But I was like, "Are they still playing basketball?" It's like, "Yeah, they just." That's what I. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's baseball season.
yep.
Right, very
The
true.
real basketball season's over for you now that college is done.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Well, good stuff. Yeah, we started our Summer in the Psalms Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff will be out this Sunday, so Polly Rouse will be filling in the gaps for him while he's on vacation. But we'll be continuing through that series. Looking forward to a great Summer in the Psalms series. Cody didn't get to do Summer in the Psalms, so he's going with Summer on
we
the
almost
Mount.
did the same exact series title and everything for the students. Like I was between Summer on the Mount or Summer in the Psalms.
Oh,
Summer on the
stop.
And then that got mentioned. I'm like, well, I know which route I'm going now.
That's awesome.
And
He
so,
made the decision for you.
yeah, well, I mean, it could have been cool to kind of piggyback and do some of the
Yeah.
other ones, but I'm also like, hey, we'll change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like it.
so.
Well, thank you guys for joining me.
Thanks
Bethany,
for
how-
having us.
Okay, I did
you
it.
survived your first
I
one.
did.
Did it,
Did
Bethany.
With
Woohoo.
all the cold symptoms and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have to stop and leave the room.
No, did great. Good stuff. Well, thank you guys for listening. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Later.